What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part, I want to say 9, 8 or 9, somewhere around those parts of my Thorek Total Warhammer II Let's Play. So as we saw last time, our empire growth continues, not so much in the territory capacity, although we did get a new territory just now, but more so in the fact that we finally are getting a bit of cash in and are starting to be able to build up a few things, getting that granary building up pretty much in every single place where we can get it. And even with that, we're still at 120 growth. Dwarven growth is absolute trash. It is just so bad. And I'd love to switch to empower the guilds, but the problem is Dwarven public order is also so bad that we can't leave venerate the ancestors. It's all kind of hilarious. But even then, even with empower the guilds, we'd still be only at 150 growth. Man, the difference in growth is just huge to a lot of factions. 90 here, and this is with 2 ports adding some, although they're only level 1 ports, only 10, but still. Oh wow, Dwarven ports 10, 15, 20, huh? Alright. Well, we just gotta keep dealing with it. Fortunately, we are now at war with Citadel of Dusk, and I think since we destroyed their other army, we shouldn't have too much of a problem taking the rest of the stuff and then grabbing the Skull Island, which I've been really focused on. It would break my heart if somebody, one of the AI factions went in and took this before we got to it, so we gotta book it over there. Alrighty, Lords not moved. I take it that's these Lords that are using their Valea powers on all this stuff. Oh, right, so this is all growth with the addition of the extra public order and growth and untainted from all these extra lords that are just sitting here adding that. Hilarious, isn't it? Absolutely hilarious. You have an obsidian amulet. I don't really care about that. I just want to... Before deleting these guys, I gotta make sure to grab those items. I also, since... I was about to jump you, Kazaran, over here, but maybe we should get the Mine of the Bearded Skull up to maxed out first, since it is going to get the gold smelter, and it will be making a lot of our cash for us. I'm almost tempted to turn it off public order and switch it to High King's Tribute for the extra tax rate, so maybe we'll do that in a bit, but we shall see. Alrighty, I believe that's all the lords not moved. Let's end the turn, let's take the Citadel of Dusk, and then onward to the tip of Lustria. You, Tehenna, went... Watch him go after the tip of Lustria, just watch, I swear. I'm almost tempted... Oh, that's helpful. We'll see who's the fool, leadership for armies, recruitment costs. Well, we're not recruiting anything, so we'll definitely see who's the fool. What I'm worried about is Tehenna marching in and taking the tip of Lustria away from us before we can get to it. We can't hit it in a single turn anyway. Do you block the crossing? No, you don't block the crossing. Well, either way, we have to go for the Citadel of Dusk. I hope that by going through to the Ogre camp, we won't, we will... Do we wait until we take it? I'm almost tempted to say maybe we should take this and then go back for the Ogre camp. It's not going to disappear in a couple turns anyway, right? It doesn't say. I'm just worried about not being able to reach the Citadel here, because we're already at our max movement range, and this would take us like that. You know what? I'm not going to risk it. Just go for the Citadel. It doesn't pass through it. Okay. Don't just screw with us, Tehenna. Let's see what we got here. Enter high casualties and a Pyrrhic victory. We're obviously going to attack. We'll just hose them down with our artillery again. And, oh, wow, look at all the range units they have here. Alrighty, well, we are once again going to fight it. I'm not going to bother making this a cinematic battle unless it turns out to be a really difficult one, which I, you know, have my sincere doubts about just by virtue of the type of units that are here. I guess we'll set up on this side of the map because the towers here are a little bit more annoying, as we'd have to destroy these before we were to assault the gate, but here there's only... Alrighty, it happened again. I was not expecting to make this one a cinematic battle, but it turned out to be a pretty fun time, so at the end of the day, I will just eat my words and so on and so forth. So, first things first, obviously, the artillery barrage is going to start. We have quite a lot of enemies to contend with, and especially a ton of range units, as I was saying earlier, so we need to be careful. They also have a Eagle Claw Bolt thrower. I keep wanting to call them Reaper Bolt throwers, and that is obviously going to be dangerous when we start moving our actual forces up, so that'll That won't be so good with our formation. Obviously, once again, we are going to target the grudge throwers at the actual units up here, while the bolt throwers target each of the towers to try to bring them down. You can't really see our army, because our army is currently all the way out there in the trees. They are going to set up because the enemy towers can't reach us. I feel like it's sort of smart of the AI to sometimes grab all of its units and then use the gatehouse to protect itself, because it does a lot of shots get blocked by these little, I don't know what to call them, decorations that they've got up here. Like, it's actually surprising that, because this looks pretty flimsy. I feel like it wouldn't take that many shots from a pretty large piece of rock moving at a fairly large velocity and exploding as well. But hey, whatever. The ones that get through certainly do their work. I mean, just counting the number of missed shots because of this damn thing. Oh well, hopefully the gatehouse will die soon, and then we will be sitting pretty. Alright, how are the towers looking? We got... Oh, right, I did a minor boo-boo here and accidentally target this fort wall instead of the fort tower. But at the end of the day, what we could do is, after destroying the tower, we could just breach the wall with artillery as well, if the 30 damage has already been done. And yes, once again, I'm aware that the Ekron miners can do the same, but they'd get absolutely killed before they reach the walls by all this ranged firepower that the enemy has, especially since it's keeping a bunch of its range units back, not on top of the walls. Now, how are our main forces looking? They're almost ready to go. As soon as both of these towers go down, we're at 67 and 26%. The Dwarven formation is going to move in. While we're waiting, let's take a look at the city. Oh, I actually like the city as well. It's not like the one where you go forward one way. It does look a little bit more sprawling, which I do like. Feels more like a real city than some of the others, which are more like a path that you're, you know, essentially supposed to go down. Like it's like this, but without that portion. Yeah, I like it. A little mini port that they have some keys and stuff, but the port is very, very minor here, clearly. No ships being constructed or anything else, and it looks like we've already somehow managed to burn some of it down. I guess buildings fell down because of our siege, but yeah, once again, props to the devs for making some really cool cities. Not so much props for not really letting us fight in them. Oh well, here come the dwarfs, and now that the towers are down, we will continue the artillery barrage, but we can move in. The game's actually lagging a little bit because of, I don't know, some kind of effect. Oh, did I use the Rune of Speed here? No, not yet. The Rune of Speed so that we can pump our dwarven legs and then move in there. The enemy actually haven't taken too many units lost here. Just this one appears to be the only one that's off. Huh. Well, that means we will take some fire from them as we move up. This is what they see. Get them there. And obviously we're going to move this other portion of our units, which I typically use as a team, being the Ekron Miners and the 2 units of Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, as well as the Thunderers, separately to try to breach this wall. Although, once this wall is breached, if it happens, that will no longer be required. Alright, it looks like the main army is moving forward once again. Oh, they have orange shields? Who has orange shields? Oh, is that the Citadel of Dusk's main color scheme? Huh, I kind of like that. The orange and the dark blue, looks like. Can't actually tell whether that's dark blue or black. Kind of hard. I think it's dark blue. Or it could be... Or I have no idea. Whatever, it looks cool. I like it. Unfortunately that the Lothern Sea Guard always have the these types of shields, and they don't fit in with the rest of the army. Speaking of not fitting in with the rest of the army, here come the corpses. Oh, the gatehouse goes down, and these guys are no longer protected. Now the Quarrelers are here, and they are dying in droves. The grudge throwers are also landing their shots now that this thing is no longer protecting them. Very, very nice. Pretty horrible place to be up on these walls. Alright, and it looks like this wall has been breached as well, so we will be able to move half our army through this breach while the other half goes through the gate. Ooh, and it looks like, unfortunately, the enemy has moved out of the gate a little bit, which allows for our iron breakers, which we've seen before, don't do a great job of chucking their satchel charges when the enemy is inside the gate to actually use their satchel charges. There we go, very nice. You guys really shouldn't have moved out to fight Thorek and stuff. Thorek and the Thane don't really care about these explosions, but these guys very much do. Ah, yeah, bathe them in explosive fire, or explosions in the fire afterwards. Alright, and then after you're done, you can move on in. You guys done, or are you gonna go through another throw? Looks like they want to throw again. Are they gonna throw, and then they're gonna throw down? Looks like one more set. Oh, don't waste them. No, they're going to chuck them up there. Huh. Oh, looks like a few got through. That was a grudge thrower shot. I think some did damage, though. Alright, ooh, and it looks like the units that the enemy did keep back, these 3 full stacks of Lothran Seaguard, are actually attacking us. They also have a Shadow Warrior unit moving around here, another Lothran Seaguard unit down there, another one down here, which is what's preventing me from moving in these units here, as the Ekron Miners would obviously get wrecked. We are, however, going to counter that by moving these 2 units to target this Lothran Seaguard unit, as well as one of the grudge throwers that is still firing. Alright, so these guys should die reasonably quickly, I would think. Especially as it does tend to work better when you're firing parallel like this. Well, not quite, or almost parallel, but generally speaking on top of the walls, because they can't really use the Merlins up here to block the shots. Out here, we have 1 unit of Spearmen blocking all the 3 Dwarf Warrior units that are moving in through this breach, but still doing a good job. We do have to try to move through this as quickly as we possibly can, otherwise we will get attacked by that bolt thrower. Thorek, in the meantime, as you can see, is actually trying to push through this formation. The reason for that is he wants to move forward and attack these units of Lothran Seaguard. They are just out of range of his ability to use his Rune of Wrath and Ruin. So that's what he's trying to do. Alright, there we go. Anvil of Doom moving forward. I always found it kind of weird that the dwarves have so much mechanical stuff, but like but their lords are, you know, just carried on these various throne-like things. I find that weird, because they could obviously build a machine that could very well convey their lords, but hey, that's just me. Oh, and it looks like the enemy noble wants a duel, and he does hit Thorek pretty hard a couple times, who has dropped by about 20% of his HP. Almost 25 there. Nice. Got a little bit of a duel out there. It'd be funny if, like, if Thorek could, like, electrify his entire Anvil of Doom, so that if an enemy were to connect with it, with their weapon, they just get electrocuted. Too bad that's not a thing. Although, I guess that would be kind of unfortunate for the dwarfs carrying him. As they do appear to place the anvil on, well, they do have metal arm, metal arms, well, they do have gauntlets on their shoulder armor as well. Spalders and whatnot. Alright, this noble looks like he's done dueling with Thorek, but he has dropped to about 25% HP. Down goes the said noble. I just heard another Rune of Wrath and Ruin going in somewhere. Looks like it hit these Silveran Guard, who are still blocking the breach here. Over here, finally, these spearmen have routed, and these guys are out of the way, so we are going to move in. The rest of our forces have not taken a crazy amount of damage yet, but the enemy bolt thrower is now able to fire, and it looks like it's hitting this unit of Quarrelers. It looks like our Quarrelers have taken by far the most damage out of all our units. I guess with the exception of the Thane. I actually don't know what hurt him so much. Maybe it's just being surrounded by the Silveran Guard, but he has so much armor. 135. I'm actually surprised that they were able to do this much damage, but that's fine. That's fine. He will be okay. I don't think without the noble that they can actually kill him there. Oh wow, and Thorek is just completely surrounded. I guess he can't go forward. Lots of splash damage though, and now the rest of the dwarfs are gonna move in. Good luck, Knife Ears. Good luck. Y'all remember the War of the Beard? Yeah, that's what happens. And it's gonna happen again. In microcosm, I suppose, because this is a minor faction, but nonetheless. There we go. It looks like a lot of their units are moving out of the way, and we are fully in the city now. They do still have some elite units. They do have an Archmage of Metal, so they can certainly dish out some damage to our armored units. This Lothran Seaguard unit appears to have come back, but it is going to get shot down by our Quarrelers quite soon, especially once the Thunderers arrive and just take it out. We also have the support of the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons for any units that come in and try to harass the range. And it looks like the cast has finally done a decent job. Oh, and the Plague of Rust, minus 50 armor on top of that. Very nice. And then on top of all that, we're going to get a Chain Lightning and the Gehenna's Golden Hounds on these guys. Very, very nice job by the caster. We're finally taking some magic damage. Teclis, eat your heart out, because I don't remember Teclis doing a good job with his cast when we were fighting him. Maybe it was too early in the game, but still. It's Teclis, and I feel like he should have done a better job. He did cast his Flocks of Doom a bunch of times, but it never really did much. That, on the other hand, basically crippled this Dwarf Warrior unit and is actually going to retreat so that it doesn't die. Over here, the enemy Eagles are dropping in on another unit of Dwarf Warriors, but we do have support nearby with the range units coming in that should be able to shoot down the Eagles, and the Great Weapons, as soon as they're finished with dealing with these spears, they will be able to take care of that. Ooh, nice job with the AI, using the Eagles to bunch up the Dwarf Warriors and then casting on top of them, crippling another unit of Dwarf Warriors. This is, once again, a better job than Teclis did. So that's 2 units that now have to leave the field, essentially. Well, not really leave the field, but leave the main portion of the battlefield, I suppose. Our army is also quite separate now. You can see lots of units running in different directions. These guys are just charging and preventing the Lothran Seaguard over here from firing. We have a little mini fight with the Silverian Guard, who appear to be broken now, with these Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. We also have our 2 units of Quarrelers that are on the walls firing down on anything that annoys us. And finally, over here, we have Thorek and the Thane, who are cornering the enemy lord and will be able to, hopefully, prevent any more magic. There we go. Smack them around. And this shouldn't be too much of a problem, because it's a mage and they're not... yeah. It's already basically done. Thorek's not going to get hurt. Plus, we used both the Rune of Doom and the Rune of Speed, so 151 melee attack on Thorek there. Very, very nice. And just like that, I do believe after this rune, the enemy breaks without their lord and with most of their units dead. One of the eagles will survive. Nice little shot of the eagle soaring over the elven towers there, but there we go. Oh, it did get a last parting Gehenna's Golden Hounds right on top of our units. I think this unit was reduced to about 17 models after this hit, and I tried to hit the end battle really quick before this unit was so reduced that it would not be able to come back. But very nice fight. Very nice fight. I wasn't expecting it when I was going into it, which is why I was originally not planning to make it cinematic, but the mage certainly gave us a little bit more of a run for our money, even if it didn't do a crazy amount of kills than we were expecting. Let's see how we did. Alrighty, turned out to be an actually pretty fun battle. Go figure. Once again, the bolt throwers completely underperforming, although considering they were attacking towers, it's not a surprise. Maybe what I'll do is take out the Rune of Seeking from one of them, leave it on the other, and just see how each performs individually by comparison, just in case this rune is screwing something up. I mean, it's not overriding their explosive damage, though. I guess the explosive damage could be overriding that, just based on a comment that from a few episodes ago. But anyway, fun battle. Not too many casualties, but more so than last time. Most of the casualties came out of this mage. Metal mage with those casts of Gehenna's Golden Hounds, and plus I believe they cast the bombardment spell as well. And it seemed... oh, they also had Chain Lightning. Yeah. Actual more damage coming off of this mage than Teclis, interestingly enough. Occupy, please. So there we go. Enemy killed in battle. We got ourselves a fiery ring of Thori. A breath, eh? A breath, you say? Well, that'll be useful. That'll help out with the magic ability. Let's see. You have a potion of toughness. I think I'd rather give you the fiery ring as opposed to anything else. What do you have? You have the potion of healing, which you should really, really keep. Alright, everybody else is good. You guys are not going to be able to heal up to full for the trip to the tip of Lustria, but that's fine. You are almost ready for your immortality. You have Strike the Runes. What else could we get in terms of upgrades? We have Scouting. I guess we have to pick Harden Armor or Sharpen Weapons. And I say pick because presuming we're going to get another Rune Master in here. We could also start building you out as a fighter yourself. We have to keep an eye on... Wait, this doesn't really help you out in terms of fighting. Well, strong vigor out of this. But otherwise, upkeep for Runesmiths, 10%, not worthwhile. Armor-piercing weapon damage +3, very much worthwhile. Physical resistance, worthwhile. Miscast-based chance enemy armies in region, kind of swell. If we spam lots and lots of miscast stuff. Alright, well, either way, I think we're going to go for Hardened Armor first, just because we don't have a lot of... well, then again, this could help our artillery, and our artillery are doing a lot of stuff. But this would help our Dwarf Warriors, which are our main battle line, and they are in need of more armor. What would we get more benefit out of? That's the real question. Gautry. What is your ancestral blood is Valea, so that's a ward save. Yeah, you know what? Since your ancestral blood is Valea, I'm gonna go with Hardened Armor. There we go, as opposed to Sharpened Weapons. And that'll mix up with the ward save. There we go. Alright, so you guys are good. We're going to grab these mercenaries soon. We did get a little bit of cash out of that, so I do want to proceed with another granary unless there's something else. Well, we could also upgrade this goat herd. How long until we can upgrade this? 3 turns. Just got to remember to save the cash for that when we're ready. You can get another granary, huh? Oh, but we can't get both, so we can have to pick one. Oh, hello. What do we have here? Probably not worth it, considering we don't have trade. Just go for the granary, I think. Fort upgrade is not yet ready to go. I'm just checking if there was anything else worthwhile. Nah, it doesn't look like it. We'll just go for you, and then we'll upgrade everything else as we go. This is less growth than a granary, right? Although it does increase our regeneration, but it won't be ready by the time we're... Oh, wait, it's actually more. No. Well, then, if it's more, then we are going to get the goat herd instead. There we go. Alright, that fixed that. Lord's not moved. Well, they're not supposed to move, and we can head to the next turn. Hugo ready? Yeah, okay, we're fine. Next turn, ooh, and maybe we'll have a next technology ready. Income from tool makers. Okay, that'll help. That'll certainly help. Please don't take Tip of Lustria. Don't you do it to Henneman. Don't make me angry. Are you going to declare war on us? No, you want a non-aggression pact. I thought he was attack us. No. And it looks like he's not going for it. Sweet. War declared between the Court of Libaras and Citadel of Dusk. What the hell are you guys doing? Did you peace out? Oh, they peaced out. After taking all this territory. Interesting. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to betray these guys. Both of these guys, since this is just not a situation I'm happy with. I guess we can start by betraying Tehenaman and then betraying Kalita afterwards. Sorry, Kalita, but you weren't able to hold on to your desert. You should be able to auto-resolve the Tip of Lustria, I think. I don't believe we need to fight again. I probably should have... Nah, whatever. Casualties low, yeah. Auto-resolve this, a little bit of damage. And we'll occupy that, and the entire province is ours. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Capes, you are going to go into... Ooh, we got a free Dwarf Tinkerer's shop out of it at level 2. So this place is going to be producing a ton of cash. We will need to keep it positive rate, though, so let's go venerate the ancestors. We also do have the refectory here. But it's only +2 public order at level 1. So it's really not quite enough. Alright, Citadel of Dusk has been destroyed. Beautiful. Thorek, you have leveled up once again. I am going to complete that Tactician buff, and we then need to pick out another one before we head to the good red line buffs. I still haven't gotten Strike the Runes, and I think that we will need it sooner rather than later. I mean, The thing is, we haven't been running out into armies that are really threatening yet, which is why we are able to keep using this relatively basic army, but it's gonna change eventually. Like, you have Croxies, you have a Feral Steg. We might want to attack Tehenoan before he starts building up. So what we could do... the real question is here, do we ignore Chupayatl? They still have this just this one settlement, so if we were to hit it from the sea, destroy it, take it for ourselves, although the garrison, if there's an actual full-strength force there, that'll be pretty tough. And if there's an army right here, they could technically hit Oixel. Ooh, speaking of. Or is it Oixel? I don't know. Man, that's gonna be a hard decision. Who are you at war with? You are at war with Khalida, and you are at war with the Southern Sentinels. We have lots of potential targets for us, don't we? Don't we, rather? Alright, let's see what we can upgrade here. Basically, any place will allow us to get a level 2. Actually, not any place, but several provinces. I guess we want to build it wherever we're making the most money. Like, this is not a complete province, so we can ignore it for now. And no, well then I guess we only have one option, really. So I guess that's you, right? I guess both of you will need walls, because if we declare war on each, I think we start with Mortuary of... No, you know what? These guys are also going to declare war on us. These Skaven, eventually. So all of these territories will most likely need walls. Oh man, that's going to be expensive. I am not looking forward to that. Do either of you have anything? No. I was looking for any trade goods. 5,600 is so damn steep, though. If only the construction reduction was a little bit more. I just want to check. Is there a thing we could get which increases the reduction that we get out of that particular commandment? Construction cost -10 for all buildings. That sounds damn good to me, and I believe that's the thing that I was saying that we should go through last episode. Construction cost. No, none of this really buffs up that command mount. That's surprising. I feel like that's really surprising, because if anybody should probably have construction cost reduction, it's probably Dwarfs, considering their mastery of it. But they don't really. It's just this. Huh, it looks like the lizards have a lot more construction cost reduction. Interesting. Unexpected, but interesting. Alright, yeah, well, we're heading towards us. Damn, it's gonna take 22 turns. Well, nothing to do but try to get to it. Need to steal some tech. Can which dwarven stuff steals tech? Is it engineers? Because we'd be busy with engineers. You guys are scouting. Thanes are probably training, which would leave engineers, but engineers might be boost income. Or would they be steal tech? Would dwarfs even stoop to stealing tech? I don't know. Either way, I believe we need to upgrade something. Let's go to, I don't know, Mortuary. All our precious cash. And nothing to build with what we have left. You are actually losing public order now. We might have to jump over to you. And so are you. Okay, unfortunately, I think despite the fact that you're in a good place, we're going to jump you over to the Cavern of the Great Bat. There we go, we're +7 now. You are only at +2, but you're still positive. So that's fine. Alrighty. And then we will skip the current notification and then end the turn. Really could use that 20k. We could also really use materials at sea or one of the other really strong buffs. I mean, it goes without saying, right? Alrighty, now. You two are still hurt, but I think we can still fight this. It'll have to, once again, I think, be a cinematic battle, but we could actually move you two together into one blob and then just recruit a Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, but I still think I'd rather delay it a little bit further, not to increase our costs. I do want to probably get rid of the Ekron Miners, though we're not getting a lot of mileage out of them, but I'd rather replace them with Goblobbers than anything else, regardless of the cost. So yeah, you know what? Sorry, Ekron Miners, you're out.
Tried and tested.
Goblobbers, you're in. Is there a Regiment of Renowned Quarreler unit? There is not. There is no Regiment of Renowned Quarrelers. Well, that's disappointing. No Quarrelers to lead the lead these guys. There are Rangers, but that does not what I wanted. Tremendously disappointing. Alright, well, I guess we still do want to get the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Do we want to get rid of a Dwarf Warrior unit for it, though? Do we want to get rid of the Thunderers? They're only costing us 208. No, but that's because they're in the... So, you know what? Let's keep it to 1 for now. 1 unit, that is. Let's hit up the Skull Island. Get the money from it.
Ready?
And grab this before it disappears right after. Raid the Cove is what we're going to do. I will once again have to make a cut here, so here it is. Alrighty, there's the cut, and let's do this. This might be a pretty interesting battle by virtue of the fact that they have a ton of depth guard, and our Dwarf Warriors would get absolutely obliterated in combat with depth guard after a few seconds, so we definitely need to focus down the enemy depth guard with our artillery before they can screw us over. Hopefully what we can do is have the grudge throwers take care of the... Ooh, wait. You have medium splash. Here's the question. I don't know if anybody knows this, but would a Rune of Burning benefit the Goblobbers, or would it screw up its special rank, or like its special damage? Because it is a Regiment of Renown, so it does fire a little bit differently than these guys. It appears to have a little bit less missile strength. Yeah, if anybody knows, do let me know, because otherwise we'd have to get another Rune of Burning on this thing. I don't want to interfere with it either. I guess what we could do is we could try to keep it around in its regular state, and then compare it with the amount of damage it deals later on. I don't know if it's worth it. Anyway, let's fight. Alrighty, here we go. With the addition of the the Regiment of Renown, a Rock Lobber, our army is now nearly half range. Oh wow, you guys, that's a brightly painted Rock Lobber. Love it. Love it. Yeah, so our army is nearly half range. I think we're 11 and 9 in favor of the melee. Obviously, we are going to start with... Look at how many are missing. What is this? Okay, those two hit. These are obviously the bolt throwers, but a lot of them seem to have missed there. Now you're probably hitting that thing thinking it was still alive. I'm actually curious. I mean, a lot of this battle is just going to be artillery testing to see how effective each of the individual artillery pieces are. Now, I believe that this particular unit of mortars takes 2 full minutes of non-stop fire from both of our highly ranked and runed up bolt throwers for them to bring it down, which is kind of unfortunate. I feel like it's not strong enough. I would be curious to see how many, how long it would take 2 units of grudge throwers with explosive shots to bring down an artillery piece like this, because otherwise I'm just keep struggling to get a reason to actually bother continuing to use the bolt throwers. They're just not that good. If the arrows were more accurate, that would be a little bit better too. And like before, we've tried sniping lords, we've tried sniping actual large units, and they're still disappointing me. They're just disappointing me all over the place. But anyway, this is also going to be another artillery test for the various grudge throwers. We are going to compare the explosive rune regular grudge throwers with the goblobbers, who are shooting the goblin prisoners tied to these rocks. Although tying an explosive to the rocks in addition to the goblins would be kind of funny as well. Anyway, obviously all of those are just targeting the grave guard as best they can, because we can't really allow them to go into melee with us, because that would not end so well. Oh, huh. I would have thought that the gobos would explode into bloody bits, but it looks like it's just the regular rock animation. All 3 of those missed as well. Kind of disappointing. Kind of disappointing, especially as I believe Thorek automatically grants the grudge throwers the homing rune, does it not? So yeah. Anyway, oh, the enemy is also firing its carronade at us in part because it's too far away from our own artillery to fire back at it. We will retarget our own artillery once they're done with the mortars, but yeah, they are still alive. Still alive. Oh, it looks like their last model is just about to go. Well, a minute and 20 seconds of sustained fire. They're not quite dead, but all their models have been destroyed. Not horrible, but not great considering it's 2 units. I feel like it would have gone a lot faster with a single Great Cannon or a Dwarven Cannon. I forgot what the name of the Dwarfs cannon is. It's probably Dwarven Cannon or something like that. Anyway, the Grave Guard are approaching now, and we have a pretty standard setup here with our melee being the sort of box that protects our range. Standard dwarven setup, especially as we have no mobility. And we do have the checkered sort of formation here that is allowing the Thunderers to fire at the Grave Guard here. And I suppose this is where the Thunderers do really come in handy. I do wonder what their performance is like as compared to the Quarrelers, now that the Quarrelers have the extra armor-piercing buff from Thorek. Do they do as much armor-piercing as Thunderers do? How do they perform? We haven't actually taken really any damage. These Dwarf Warriors were hurt at the start. I think this one might have gotten a little bit hurt from the Carronade, but the Carronade appears to have switched to this Dwarf Warrior unit back here. Unit of Depth Guard is moving in now, but fortunately it is near Thorek, and he's not really afraid of this. Yeah, he can get badly hurt by them, but he's not going to die to them. There we go. And you gotta love seeing the Ironbreakers in combat. They're like full armor. Just looks really cool. Alrighty, and as I said, this is not going to be a very challenging battle. These 2 Graveguard units are down pretty much. We have been focusing them with both our Thunderers and our Quarrelers, so it's not unexpected that they are not going to survive much longer. There we go. Looks like we even got a few extra shots in, over these Dwarfs' heads. And even more Graveguard are coming in just to continue suiciding, and the Thunderers will continue supporting on this. At least we're getting some use out of these Thunderers. There we go. Nice job. A nice job. But let's take a look at the rest of the battle. The enemy Admiral's still moving around. The enemy cannon is not being targeted, but I believe we are now, yeah, we are moving our artillery, specifically the bolt throwers, to try to get rid of the damn Carronade. Other than that, their elite troops are all pretty much dead. I think we just have this one unit of Graveguard and this one unit of Graveguard here, and other than that, it'll be just zombies. So as long as Thorek can hold the line, and spoiler alert, he can, we're gonna be just fine. Smack him around, Thorek. I think here I might have ordered him to attack the enemy Admiral, who's sort of just running around back here. Where are you, Admiral? Oh, he's over here. What's your name, by the way? Oh, I didn't check the name, damn it. What if it was a hilarious name and I'm missing out? That would be unfortunate. I gotta remember to check it. Since this is an artillery test, I do want to keep watching the artillery fire. And oh, speaking of artillery fire, how are these guys doing? That Carronade's still quite alive. Alrighty, and it looks like the Admiral has moved over here. We are focusing it down with the Thunderers and the Quarrelers as well. Oh, and it looks like it's crumbling apart, disintegrating due to the army losses. And the battle is over just like that. In the shadow of these pyramids, which are apparently on this island that we're on, I guess we found a little Tomb King island. That's kind of cool. It's like Tomb King's Atlantis or something, I don't know. Because this is a Skull Island, so this is just in the middle of the ocean somewhere. What the hell? And those are ships over there. I've never seen this before. You really gotta take a look at the maps around and what you're looking at sometimes. I feel like you miss out on details. Never notice. I wonder what kind of ships those are. It's kind of hard to tell the distance. The sails make me want to think that they're Druchii ships because they look like dark purple sails, but the ships look a little bit too thick to be Druchii ships, and their prows look a little bit wrong. I could be off, though. I wish I could zoom in just a little bit closer. Anyway, obviously decisive victory. I am very interested to see what we got out of this artillery test, especially as we didn't really get hurt, and the artillery never stopped firing. They should be pretty equally positioned to have done damage. Alrighty, a fun enough battle, even if it wasn't difficult. A classic Dwarven defense with the box around the artillery, essentially, and the artillery and the range units doing a lot of the work. The Ironbreakers also got nearly 10k, so obviously decent job for them, and I'm surprised that the Longbeards actually managed to get a decent amount of damage there as well, considering they were on the flank for most of the field. The most interesting thing is, let's see, we got 14k and 84 kills versus 11k and 13k. So it looks like the Regiment of Renowned Goblobbers did better than both of the regular grudge throwers with explosive rune. Now I am curious. Would they still be... Oh, this could also be a fluke, though. Although the thing is that it did do better than both of them, and this one's damage value at 930 was almost even. I think one more battle without the explosive rune on this to keep testing it, and then we'll switch it to with an explosive rune to compare afterwards. But anyway, let us... Ooh, Execute and Loot gives us 2k. I think we gotta take that regardless of the buff that we will give the army, even though we are going to sail back. Yeah, that's fine. Execute and Loot. Take the 2k. Plus take the 20k. Beautiful. Alright, so that's a lot of money to spend. I'm going to end this episode here so that I can do the administrative stuff with the episode. I'm going to spend all the cash we got on any building upgrades to hopefully grow our empire further. Next episode, we will obviously take the ogre camp here. And then I suppose we will be proceeding to Chupayotl right after that. Because, well, I guess we'll go over here and we'll check if there's a full stack in there or not. Because if there isn't, we'll have to check where the full stack is, because we know that they do have stuff there. Their power balance is almost even with ours, despite the fact that they only have the one army, so that is obviously a consideration. We also, I mean, when everybody's at level 3, we will probably sail you out as a new seaborne dwarf army to keep gathering all the stuff in the water, because that was really needed for this empire to, you know, get its growth going. Without it, we'd still be in a pretty bad position. So I definitely want to keep on repeating that and keep on making a use of that. Otherwise, after Chupayotl, we'll have to decide who to attack. Whether we betray Tehenwen, and I say betray in quotes because he doesn't like us very much, and we don't actually have any kind of treaties with him. Oh, he might have actually lost his army. Oh, that's interesting. Because if he lost his army, maybe we're better off not going after Chupayotl, but since we're going to go inland after the ogre camp, maybe we just hit up all of Tehenwen's territories instead. I guess the danger would be... Wait, can you move through this? Is this a pass or is it not? I can't actually tell. No, I don't think it is. So to actually attack us, he'd have to go all the way out here to the Sentinels of Chati, which is walled. The Chamber of the Caverns of the Great Bat, which we can build up an army in, because Kazran is there. And he could definitely get a few units. Yeah, fairly quickly. And they could go out to sea and hit the Mud Isles, which we wouldn't be able to do anything about, but that's it's a pretty interesting option. You guys let me know what you think. I'll spend all the money, and then next time we can hopefully get even more of Lustria in Thorek's hands. So with that said, as always, I do appreciate any and all feedback with regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. And hello, Malice. Blah, 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 whatever else I was going to say. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.